looking back at the Coinage AMA interview podcast, whatever you want to call it, it became very obvious to me at that time we were looking at a very desperate man with a lot of pressure above him. With the recent events that have transpired, with DK simply handing ownership of Luna over to a new group of developers, and those groups of developers then pushing the idea and the image forward, right? It's a completely different team, but I always knew that the Luna Foundation guard more or less would get liquidated, and it would be not used for what it should have been used for. And realistically, if you put it down to bite to crunch, the way the quant team are treating these sort of funds that were put aside for things but never used, if you simplify it, they do kind of belong to this blockchain because they originated from this blockchain. A lot of people would beg to differ. I would myself, because those coins are in somebody else's wallet, so they own them. But if you were going to go off of the ethics recently shown by other people, they would simply claim these coins for themselves. Obviously, they can't because it's all totally in different currencies. It's in LFG token and all of these different things, but it's being sold out for BTC, and the SEC are moving ahead with a lawsuit. As to who that lawsuit's going to land on, the likelihood is going to land on DK. But, you know, is Luna going to come into question here? And I'm hearing whispers in the dark, okay, and this is just mere whispering, is that people are looking to return back to the LUNC blockchain. If you look at other diehards, right? So if we look at someone who was a stone cold diehard for Dokwon, LUNC, right? I think he started his own chain called Ox, and he doesn't really talk about DK. You know, DK was this god, this person who was going to fix everything, bring everything back. I saw him as the greatest hide and seek player of all times. He managed to hide for quite a while, but this itself, right? If the SEC do manage to actually get hold of the bad actors like SBF and like DK and actually punish them, it sends good signals through the crypto communities. A lot of people will see it as negative, but I only see this as positive. The bad actors getting punished and law being put on these people and justice being served, because ultimately so many people got burnt in this crash. And this is why I was saying about the quant team's ethics as to users' coins, retail coins and everything. It doesn't matter whose coins they are. You're burning what seems like nothing now, which can turn into so much in the future. People are going to be really annoyed when they find out that the coins they held onto as a retail company have just simply been burnt. And it's the rich, big companies that will actually come after us as a blockchain. And it just goes to show that, you know, a lot of strange stuff is going on. If we simply go to Google and look at what comes up on Google, it apparently has been confirmed that his affiliates have started selling BTC linked to the Luna Foundation guard after transferring 5,292 bitcoins to another wallet. I always knew that this was a possibility, but when they found the ledger on him in Montenegro, it was at that point I realized that this guy has the keys to the kingdom, more or less, and those funds are probably going to get sent through something like Tornado Cash, never to be seen again. And even if they do get him in a court of justice, what's the chances of getting that crypto back? It could be on one of a million ledger devices that he owns. The monomics, you're not cracking those. It all becomes highly questionable, but I think for us, this makes us look good as a blockchain because we're actually trying to make a difference. We're actually trying to act like a decentralized blockchain. You've got good validators like myself that are actually spearheading things, instead of you just seeing these Twitter spaces of like these validators moaning and wanting change and saying, oh, we're going to push change, you know, giving these real sort of inspirational speeches that just do nothing, and they don't post anything. They don't, you know, they don't want to have the heat on them from all of the people simply saying and going at them because it's going to take away their paychecks. The way I see this is, I'm fighting an honest fight. All I'm trying to do is make our blockchain run more efficiently, decentralize the sector as best as we can with what we have at hand, try get funding, and just try and improve and make everything cheaper. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing what's expected of me as a validator. But anyway, our blockchain's looking good. And like I was saying, validators like myself are going to ensure to make everybody aware that these things are going on over at Luna, and this is all linked into Luna. As much as DK wants to try and delink himself from Luna, it's all going to get dragged up and it'll all be used against him if he does end up getting into a court of law somewhere, or he gets extradited, because the scale of retail that did get burnt in this was absolutely huge. And that's what worries me even more with the recent ethics and the proposals to just simply burn whatever USTC we deem fit. We'll be next on the SEC's hit list, and a lot of people are sitting there giving it large, like, well, you know, it's only in America. Yeah, you won't be saying that when you're extradited by Interpol from your local police force because you're part of stealing coins from other people's wallets that are retail companies that have paid a lot of money to get warrants taken out against you, you know, Interpol red flags against you. You are reachable. Okay, you're in a Twitter space, you're reachable, just like DK's reachable. Nobody can hide. So people can give it Barry and give it large and act like they're not doing anything wrong. But, you know, when the law comes to you, bad boys, what are you going to do? Folks, I think this is all really important for us. A lot of people are not going to go in, they're not going to click on this video and they're not going to look at it. The likelihood is people who are going to look at it are Luna supporters, diehard supporters. But, you know, this is the truth, and this is what people have been defending this for everything, all of the arguments and how Luna's going to restore everything and how everything's going to be better and LUNC needs to just die. It's, you know, we're doing everything right. And I think this is cause for celebration inside our own blockchain to say, hey, look, we're not like this. You know, we're not walking this path, but we're very close to walking that path. If we go, we look at Station, we look at this proposal, which is very poorly outlined, very smart wording to not say we're going to be taking the funds and just putting it down there in very short, basically that they'll be changing the blockchain state to do this. This is really close. This is really, really close to being a yes. And it's got 2 more days. And I don't think people understand that this isn't even a slippery slope at this point. This is a sheer cliff. We become no better than DK emptying out the LFG wallet, which the SEC are now after him for. So if the SEC are after DK for emptying out the LFG wallet, which he owns, where does that leave us? Where does this all leave us? We should be setting an example, not just copying what other people, well, they've done it, so it must be fine. No, let's set an example. Let's show other communities and other blockchains in the cosmos how a chain should be run. Let's stop being the laughing stock. Let's stop making poor decisions, and let's start pointing out the obvious and, you know, taking these little wins wherever we can. I'm so glad to see the heat being put on this person, because all of a sudden now, all of these people, you know, they're all very quiet. It's all very quiet, isn't it, about Luna and the damage control and the things that they're doing to keep us out of the limelight. It's all very interesting. Folks, let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think about DK selling out LFG funds. It's very, very important for you to give your perspective as to what you think about him liquidating 5,292 BTC coins. Insane amount of liquidity that could have been used to do so much more than feed just one person's back pocket. But that's what it always comes down to, right? People who want power, people want money, people want control. Those are the 3 things that should be red flags to anyone. Build for the blockchain, build for the community, and everything will benefit everybody. It's so much better that way than just one person like this prospering in the future. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. None of this is financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only. It's my own humble opinion, and I will catch you in the next one.